Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, you are majority of you will know Amy Chang. She's an Asian woman, Asian American, right? She has been talking mostly on black issues and all that. And there is a video she made which did not go well with a black woman, and I do not blame her because I saw the same thing too, and I also said the part that I saw that I think she is also right, right? And the truth is that some people are going to say that I am for you, but sincerely speaking, they are not for you. And it is we or you that we have to bring out your critical thinking to be able to identify some certain things because I cannot help you identify. The best I can do is bring the video and talk about it and enlighten us. This woman was like, she is not going to support Joe Biden if Joe Biden decided to run again, which I understood her opinion because a lot has been going on, right? And then Joe Biden said, I won't be running anymore and I will be handing over to Kamala Harris to continue the race, right? Immediately that was announced, she disappeared from TikTok. And she came back a day after the election or after the election, right, to come out to say whatever she has to say. So I don't know if it was rest that she was taking, but I feel the same way the black woman feel. Let's get into this.
I stood with y'all, don't turn your back on us. This comment was left on a black woman's video. And until white women unlearn this individualism and put in the work in their community with other white women, until white women learn to prioritize their identity as women over their identity as white, no woman of the global majority, much less black American women, need you standing with them like dead weight. When she said that white women have repeatedly shown us who they are, she's not just talking about how they voted in 2024, or how they voted in 2020, or how they voted in 2016. Let's talk about voting rights themselves. How many of you think of the passage of the 19th Amendment in 1920 as being when women got the right to vote? But it wasn't. It wasn't until the 1960s that the Black Civil Rights Movement won the right to vote for all citizens. Please take a moment to deconstruct your comment because what it shows is that your allyship has been performative and transactional. Whether you admit it or not, the reason why you have stood with black women is because you expected something in return. And right now, black women have every right to be pissed at all of us who come from communities that either voted in the majority for Trump or where there was an increase in votership for Trump. Now, first of all we should ever see of black women is their backs, because all we should be doing is following their lead. But right now, they have every right to tell us, do not follow us. We do not need or want you hanging on. Something that I've thought a lot about this week is that a majority of Asian American voters voted for Harris. However, there was an increase in Asian American support for Trump. And a majority of my followers are black. If every single one of them were to decide to unfollow me because they have decided to divest from all other communities and to invest their time, energy, and money in their community only, that would be completely justified. And it would not matter what I as an individual have done. And if that were to happen, I would continue to work just as hard to spread the same messaging that I do, because the work that I do is not something to be performed for black people, and the motivation is not because I think it is helpful to black people. I do what I do because it is what is right for humanity. Now, I am not saying that I am always right, but I am saying that is always the guiding principle. So until you learn to stand on your own 2 feet and face your community and do the work that is necessary among white women, you do not have the right to ask, much less demand, anything of black women.
I'm going to be real honest with this commentator. To me, I find her to be like a grifter. She tells some interesting topics, but behind the scenes, I don't know if she's a person that basically is really trying to help us or trying to lift our spirits or put it in a way to try to put a division. And the reason why I say that, when I listen to some of her topics, She had some very interesting points and things that I have said in my topics, but she explained it more better. However, in your community, and no disrespect intended, and I'm talking about people in the Asian community, you could be a descendant born and raised here and you come from a family that's Asian. However, you guys do the same thing too. You guys have pulled social distances from us because I live in Queens, New York. And if I decided to go to Flushing and I decided to engage or encounter with people like you or people of you, you do not want to engage with people like me. And I can come in a way as approachable and very decent and very well-mannered, not ill, well-mannered. You will still find a way to shun yourself away from me. And that's people from your culture. From this app perspective, I see you guys mostly idolize the people in the white community. And even if you pop up something based on a question that somebody had brought and you're trying to educate them, okay? In a sense, you make it feel like you're a part of us, but you're not a part of us because you don't want to be a part of us, okay? And I'm not just saying it to be rude, but I'm just saying it from personal inspect that I have encountered, okay? When you look at the people in the Asian community, and if, let's say, for example, a group of blacks decide to move into the community, they'll be the first things doing the same similar things that the white people do. They'll put that for sale sign. They will not want their children to engage with our children. And there has been that demand because you guys have seen and basically repeat the same thing, similar to what the white coaches have done to the blacks. Now, when they looked at the poll of others, they didn't specifically show the Asian community. I have to go back to the map again. And those figures were very relatively low with the voting situation. And I don't find it ironic because people in the brown community, they pretty much, whether it's Indian, Asian, South Asian, whatever, they would not try to even want to put a woman of color to be there, especially in that position. I remember the time when we had the opportunity for affirmative action based on schools. And it was someone that was Asian, whether he comes from the descendant of Asian, he decided to collaborate with Edward Moon, who is a man who was from the Caucasian community, and turned around, and the next minute, we don't have affirmative action anymore. Especially with schools, we end up becoming known as DEI. So when I say that, there is no safe space with people in the Asian community, especially versus with blacks. Even though her subject matters are very educational and I listen to what she says, okay? But to me, I find her to be a grifter. And the reason why I say she's a grifter, like, she will say certain things to try to educate us and try to map out some things to give us a brain opener. However, there's a side of her that if we even see her publicly, or I never seen her even running a campaign on behalf of anything in the minority pool. And that is likely with people in her community. And you could take it as it resonates. You probably think that that's not fair. You probably think I'm trying to say something negative about you, but this is how I feel. Because I have seen people in your community. You're the first ones that ever talk about certain things like that. Because usually when people look at Asian people, they have this stereotype that they don't say much. They're just basically very submissive. They're this and everything like that. But there's a side of them. They're human beings just like everybody else. However, their side is agreeable on the Caucasian side, never on the minority side, which is blacks. And I just have to say with my personal experience. I'm going to be real honest with this commentator.
So this is all I got from this video. And okay, I am going to take it this way, right? I am going to try as much as I can to balance this up. Black Pearl, it's somehow correct with what she said. I have some part that I am going to agree with, right? Amishan has always been here, she always comes out, she tries as much as she can to educate people on some certain things, right? Then I remember before, the election, before the election, not even before, how am I saying before? Before Joe Biden said that, I am not going to come out for second term, I will let Kamala Harris continue, right? She actually made it, openly said it, that she won't be voting for Joe Biden, right? Because of the genocide going on. Which is okay. I do not have any problem with that. Then Kamala Harris became the next presidential candidate, right? I did not see much coming out from majority of them, especially when it comes to trying to campaign for her. They disappeared on TikTok. Now, mind you, I understand that not everybody wants to talk on politics. Not everybody wants to probably endorse somebody publicly. But you have always been here talking about politics, right? And they endorsed Kamala Harris. Before we know what's going on, you disappeared. There are sometimes you might not actually be said that, okay, I am taking rest, right? And I will come back when it's convenient. Maybe you might not post a video, but if you see posts that are related or something you can something you can relate to, you feel free to share it. That's why there is repost, right, on TikTok. She absolutely, majority of them disappeared and appeared after the election. So it means the rest you took. See, I am not trying to judge anybody, but sometimes we also have to be diplomatic with some certain things, right? Critical thinking is also very necessary, right? So after the election, the same day, they did election on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you appeared. Are you not a joke? I am sorry, but this is how I feel, right? I appreciate the fact that she comes out, she educates, but some people are very cunning. That's why we also have to be very smart in dealing with those cunning people. Some people would tell, like the way I said that a majority of all those people that come out here will not vote for Kamala Harris. Some people thought I was joking. I see a lot of you in the comment section trying to tell me that, how do you know? Why are you speaking like you are? Some actually made it know that I am going to vote for this person, right? Some said the other person. The reality is that majority of the women that told you I am going to vote blue did not vote blue. And you also saw it from that polling chart. And that ends it. So I do not have a lot to talk on here, right? But I hope this makes sense to a lot of us. That some of them are going to come out here to tell you that I support you. Sincerely speaking, they don't. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.